Profit and loss statement. Now typically this is how your profit and loss statement would appear of any company. So your profit and loss statement typically, as we all have seen and as we all are aware, would start with the total revenue, and from there it would deduct the total expenses, and finally it will come lead to the net profit or profit after tax or EAT. You and I as professional do not have to look at the profit only from this angle. We need to look at the profit and loss much more than what we have seen. How we need to understand the profit and loss statement. You and I need to understand the profit and loss statement to figure out as to what is the gross profit, to figure out as to what is the EBITDA, and what is the significance of EBITDA for any business, and that is what you and I need to understand. And please remember, you as the practicing company secretary or you as the company secretaries in the profession will need to advise the board of directors of your company about the EBITDA, and you would need to explain to them as to why EBITDA is so critical and why EBITDA is so crucial. And I'm sure all of you, whenever you read Economic Times or Financial Express or Business Standard, you would always, or any financial magazine for that matter, you would always notice that all the companies play so much of emphasis on EBITDA. We need to understand as to what EBITDA is. What is significance of EBITDA for any business? That is what we need to understand. What is EBIT? What is its significance? Earning before interest and tax. What is EBT? What is earning after tax? What is retained earnings, retained profits or retained earning? And then we will also need to understand cash accrual, internal accrual and cash profit. And then we will also need to understand as to what is retained profit, earning per share, what is earning per share, and what is cash earning per share. So please remember, as practicing professional or as professional, either in practice or in business or in the employment, doesn't really matter. You and I need to have very good understanding of all the things that I have just mentioned to you. Now the question must be coming to the mind of every one of you, how to figure it out? How to figure it out? And let me tell you friends, it's not a rocket science. It's very simple. So how do we understand as to what is EBITDA? How do we understand as to what is EBIT? How do we understand as to what is gross profit? Not only understand as to what is gross profit, but also understand as to how the figure of gross profit is arrived at. Not only understand as to what is EBITDA, but also understand as to how the figure of EBITDA is arrived at, and also what is its significance. So, for the purpose of decision making, for being good in studying the financial statements of any business, we need to look at the profitability. We need to understand the profitability differently. And this is what I'm going to cover with you now. So number one, for the purpose of decision making, for the purpose of value creation, for the purpose of risk management of your business, what we need to do, the first thing that we need to look at is the sales. And remember, the figure of sales is also referred as top line. And please understand why the figure of sales is also referred as top line. The figure of sales is also referred as top line because this is the figure which is appearing in the top of the income statement, and that is why sales is also known as top line.